Okay, so when you're on the Elucerate homepage, in the upper right, there's a login place, and you can see there's spaces for username and password. So I'm going to log in here, and then I'll press the login button. And then it gives me the list of categories. In this case, I have 3 categories, and then within the categories, I have a certain number of discussions: 1 in the environment, 5 in U.S. politics, and 6 under UNRWA. Let me click on U.S. politics, and we'll see we have 5 different discussions here. And each of these statements here are the top-level statement of the discussion. Okay? So let me pick this one. This one, the title is "Software Should Not Be Patentable." Okay, so that's the contention, and that's what people are going to argue about or discuss within the section of Elucerate. There's a short description here, support for the contention that the person said software should not be patentable. They said, look past commercial software and you will see a vast open collaboration without patents or copyright, Wikipedia, blah, 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 so forth. Okay, so I click on there. Okay, now here's I go to the next screen. Here's the contention in the upper gray, what we call the focus box. Okay, software should not be patentable. And then I have a description and a little bit more explanation of why the person who started this discussion thinks it should not be patentable. Software should not be patentable. Below that, we have several responses. Now I'm going to scroll down here. You see the first one is in red. It says we must have patents to spur innovation. It's in red because it's in opposition to the contention above it. So the person who wrote this says, yeah, I think it should be patentable. I think software should be patentable, and the reason is we must have patents to spur innovation. And he gives more explanation. Patents are critical for rapid innovation, and so forth. You can read all that. The next response is in green. That means they are more or less agreeing with the contention above. And the point they're making here is software patents are too broad. Software patents and many business method patents are extremely broad in scope and vague in language and so forth. The next one down says reform is necessary. This is in green too, although this is really kind of almost a neutral stance here. It's not directly saying software should not be patentable, but it is saying that the patent system should be reformed, or certainly when as it applies to patents. And so forth. And then there's several more responses at this level. Now I can click on the statements that are underlined. Means I can click on them and see even further statements below those. Okay, by below that, that means there are further daughter statements to that statement. Now here I clicked on we must have patents to spur innovation, and now that becomes the statement in the gray focus box. And below that are 2 responses to that statement, okay? And they're both in red, means they both oppose the statement that says we must have patents to spur innovation. Okay, the first one says plenty of investments happen without patents, right? And the second one says, well, God, I have another example, the fashion industry. The fashion industry does not use patents, and they have plenty of creativity and so forth. And you can see one of these daughter statements is underlined and one is not. The one that's underlined is counterexample : fashion industry. If I click on that, yeah, I get one more daughter statement below that. This says that design investments are not the same things. Okay, so I can click back. I can move back up the ladder, so to speak, by clicking on these numbers, the navigation numbers. Here I go one level up, and what's that? Another level up, and here I'm up to the top contention here. We must have software should not be patentable.